AFC East by previewing the New York Jets schedule.
All right, so let's just all hope that Aaron Rodgers plays more than 4 snaps. Um, we all, well, it's coveted on this show, but I mean, just going back to last year, put a pretty penny on the Jets, week one. Um, you know, going into the week, I was high on the Jets. I think the Jets were my dark horse Super Bowl team last year, and then Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. I think I put like 300-400 bucks on the Jets last year, week one. They were dogs at home, um, and Aaron Rodgers goes down. I was in shambles for 3 quarters. I'm not gonna lie. Like the entire game, I couldn't believe it. Like I was done for. Sophia was trying to get me in better spirits. She was saying like, "Hey, like, what's wrong? The game's not over yet. Like, the game just started. What's going on?" I was like, "We're cooked. The game's over. Like, there's no reason." But somehow Josh Allen just kept throwing interceptions, and the game somehow gets into overtime. I keep forgetting the guy's name that returned the kickoff, the punt return,
Hard Knocks, dude.
the Hard Knocks dude. But he is a hero. I will let you know that now. He is a modern day hero. Saved a lot of people's bread that day. Um, but going into week one, they have the Niners on Monday Night Football. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be tough for them. I think it's going to be kind of a rude awakening. The Niners are favored by 5.5. I do have them losing this first game. Going into week two, you have the Titans on the road, so they're going to be on the road the first 2 weeks of the season. Have them beating the Titans on the road. It's going to be a Monday or a Sunday morning game, one of those 10 a.m. games. I'm not sure what your time is, Kaz, for when football kind of starts, but
Noon, baby, noon.
noon kickoff. Okay, so
Noon kickoff, baby.
um, they have the Patriots next week. Have them beating the Patriots. You have the Broncos, another young quarterback. Probably Bo Nix will be starting by them. I think they beat the Broncos. Um, the Jets. They play the Jets, or the Jets play the Vikings the next week. I think this is they might be going to London. This might be a London game. Um, I feel like that's going to be just a pummeling. They have Sam Darnold. It is on the road, but I do think they beat the Vikings on the road. Um, Monday Night Football game against the Bills. This is going to be a tough game for them. Um, it was a coin flip game for me, but I do have them beating the Bills on Monday Night Football. I think it's going to be a very close game. They beat the Bills on Monday Night Football last year, and that was with Zach Wilson playing quarterback. So that's going to be very interesting. The Jets are going to be in a lot of primetime games because of Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see. They were in a lot of primetime games last year because of Aaron Rodgers, but then he got hurt, and that kind of fucked up the ratings for everybody. So you just saw a lot of Zach Wilson in primetime. You're like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, this was supposed to be Aaron Rodgers. He got hurt in the first 4 snaps of the season. So have them beating the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. That is, you got the Patriots again. Have them sweeping the Patriots. Texans at home on Thursday night is going to be a very, very a lot of eyeballs are going to be on that game. I do think they dropped that game to Coleridge, Bernard, and the boys. Next week, they have the Cardinals. I feel like this is going to be another sneaky game for the Jets. Coming off a loss on Thursday Night Football, they'll have a mini bye week, but I do think they dropped this game to the Cardinals. Kaz was mentioning there's these games that these teams have no business winning. I feel like this will be one of those games for the Jets. So they dropped 2 in a row. Next week they are at home on Sunday Night Football again against the Colts, which is going to be another solid game. Anthony Richardson coming to town. I do think they win on Sunday Night Football. I think they beat Seattle the next week. I don't see where Kevin is saying Seattle Seahawks are going to be good. I just don't see it. Next week they travel to the Miami Dolphins. I do have them dropping this game. I think they split with the Dolphins. This will be a very fast-paced game. I do think Miami wins that game. Going over to the Jags, I have them beating the Jags on the road in Jacksonville. Next week after that, they have the Rams. I do have them beating the Rams. They go to Buffalo the week after that. I do have them splitting with Buffalo. So they dropped that game in Buffalo. I feel like these last couple of games are going to be very important coming down to it because the AFC is very compact. There's a lot of great quarterbacks in that conference, so that a lot of guys are going to be fighting for playoff spots. I do think they dropped this game And then the last week of the season, I have them beating the Dolphins, which basically they would split with almost the entire division and probably except the Patriots. So I do have the Jets going 12-5.
So that has them winning the division in this scenario, yeah? Because you had them going 11-6, Shaun.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Took the words right out of my mouth, Kevin, as I still had myself muted. I appreciate it.
Gotcha.
12-5. Damn.
Yeah, I mean their schedule is pretty favorable. A lot of people are going to kind of point to who else does Aaron Rodgers have to throw the ball to. Kevin brought up to me. We always go back and forth over the week. They signed the Chargers receiver,
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. That's
going to be a guy. I think the rookie out of Western Kentucky, Malachi Corley, he was a coveted receiver coming out of the draft. He's going to be, I think, their slot guy. A lot of people are going to kind of notice once games are being played, like, okay, this guy can really play. And obviously they have Breece Hall coming out of the backfield. I think he's one of the better running backs in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Highly talented. I mean, when they drafted Jordan Love, he won MVP. So, I mean, it's just like he can turn that switch on at any given moment. Now, he is coming off an Achilles injury, and he's about to be 40 years old. So that might play a role into it. But, I mean, the Jets have just been dying for a quarterback since Joe Namath. So, I mean, it goes back that far. I mean, we can go back to the Sanchez days with Mark Sanchez.
Thank you.
I'm going to say they had
AFC championship, baby.
Those two AFC championship games. But, I mean, he's
Chad Pennington.
Chad was that was
That was good.
They've ever had. That was the best they've ever had.
There's been some stopgaps in New York.
Ken O'Brien
Sam
from
Darnold.
UC Davis.
We're just
Michael Vick was there.
guys now. So I think the Jets defense was for sure a top 10 defense last year. If they could just play similar to what the defense literally kept them in games, and the offense was so like god awful that the defense was just tired of being on the field. Like they had to force turnovers. Like the defense had to score in some games for them to like legitimately have chances to win these games. So I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be night and day. It's going to be night and day for these guys. It's going to be like, oh my God, like we have a chance to win. Like I feel like the confidence that they have going into every week, they're going to believe that they can win every single game as long as 12 is back there calling the snaps.
Right.
They're gonna believe every single week that they're going to be able to win games. I feel like that's going to be a huge morale boost for them, and they're going to be able to win the division, I guess, in this case, going 12-5. So, Jets going 12-5. I think they have a favorable schedule early. They have a favorable schedule early, and that's going to kind of put them ahead of the curve going forward.
And as Kevin said, Joe Namath ain't walking through that door, so hopefully Ocho can get the job done for the Jets this year. And the only thing I'll say in response to that, Jaevon, is I just be honest, I don't know much about Corley, but the other three key players that you mentioned, it's a bit worrisome because those three guys have major injury histories. When you talk about Mike Williams with his neck, Aaron Rodgers with his legs now. And then you also mentioned Breece Hall, who started out, it was his rookie year, where he was through 4 weeks, amazing, and then out for the rest of the year. And so it's a big question mark. Hopefully they can stay healthy. We just want to see, as fans, we just want to see the best product out there, and that's dependent on health. Obviously, teams don't stay 100% healthy, and so hopefully the Jets already had one season killed by injuries, and so hopefully they can mitigate that, because who knows how much longer Aaron Rodgers and his career will last.